the third time. This is the third time I've done this. Hi, Miss Reed. This is my year-end history reflection, and I like to talk. So I decided to do a video. And all throughout the year, I learned many important events that went on in the world we live in today, and even currently, like not just in the past, like today too. And my favorite unit was when we learned about World War I, and you gave us the option to create any visual project showing our knowledge and understanding of the topic. This was my favorite because I chose to do a World War I cake, which you said you've never had a student do before, which is really cool. And everyone seemed to enjoy it, and I hope they did because I kind of worked hard on it. And yeah, World War I was my favorite unit, but the most important thing I learned in your class was over distant learning. My most important assignment was the proxy wars assignment, and I actually spent a lot of time doing it because I went through it thoroughly, and I actually read it over a couple of times, more than once, because that's when we learned about the Cuban Missile Crisis, the Vietnam War, the Soviet-Afghan War, and other proxy wars that went on in the world that I did not have a huge understanding about. This was most important because the majority of my family was in the military, and both of my grandfathers on my mom and my dad's side were in the army during the time of the Vietnam War. They would always tell stories. My dad would always tell me stories about my grandpa in the war and stuff, and I sat there and listened to the stories, but I didn't quite understand it. But after that assignment, it really did open my mind and understanding to what went on in the Vietnam War and how the U.S. was involved and all of that. It helped me really appreciate what my grandfathers had done for our country and made me look at them like heroes. And I know, although my grades do not show that I'm the best at history, I truly did enjoy your class. It was most definitely my favorite out of all 6 this year. And you made it a very fun and enjoyable environment to learn in, and I really appreciate that since I did not like any of my classes this year except for yours. Pros from this year were I became closer to a lot of new people and began to get involved in school spirit, which is really important to me because I want to get everything I can out of high school. This is the only 4 years that I'll have, and people say it's the best time of my life, but it goes by really quickly, which is true because I'm already almost on my 3rd year and I don't know where that time went. But the cons of this year, this was not my year. I don't know why, but sophomore year was just it was not the best. But it just consisted of a little bit of drama and personal issues I had with friends, and losing some of my friends was hard, but that's just a part of growing up and finding the right people for me throughout high school. And you're gonna lose friends and you're gonna gain new friends, and that's what I've heard from many people, and it's true. My teachers this year all had very different styles of teaching. Some helped and some just didn't. It didn't do anything for me. Like one of my classes was just very stressful. It got worse throughout distant learning, which was not cool. But yeah. As far as advice I have for teachers and like future classes for people, I would just say that try to remember that your students have 5 or 6 other classes besides yours that they have to worry about, and the amount of workload can be a lot to deal with. Because yeah, it's a lot to deal with, 6 other classes plus personal things going on like outside of school, sports, home lives, all of it. It's just a lot to deal with and we're just kids, but we have to go through it sooner or later. As far as future and college and all of that, I've been thinking about recently, and thinking about college in the future really stresses me out because I'm not so sure what's to come, and that makes me nervous because I don't have a plan. But if we all had a plan, then there would be no fun in life without having to go through the rough patches and the ups and downs that are to come as a surprise. But with the time coming soon as far as summer, I'm not 100% sure how I plan to spend my summer this year with everything that's been going on. But I promised myself and my friends that we would make the most out of it and have as much fun as we can while still staying safe and healthy. I truly loved your class, Mrs. Reed, and watching your video that you sent out made me sad because I'm going to miss your class so much. And I promised to stop by and say hi junior year. Oh my god. I'm not crying, I promise. And I won't forget the memories that I made in your class with all the amazing and crazy people we had. Have a great summer, Miss Reed, and I'm gonna miss you.